The prologue of the movie mentions a date, 5th of August, 2020. On this day, scientists at an undisclosed research facility celebrate the creation of the world's first man-made black hole. Why? Then, we see two scientists, James and Anna, who were part of the black hole mission. They talk about an unexpected incident which they initially considered to be a glitch, but hours later, a cosmic disruption has triggered worldwide blackouts. Within 24 hours, the sudden appearance of mysterious black portals creates widespread panic, and numerous people go missing. As a result, mass evacuations begin in the major cities. Scientists should have seen this coming. The scene then cuts to 3 days after the blackout, and we are introduced to a man named Adam Reed, his wife Andrea, and their daughter Kate, who reside in Lancaster, California. After learning about the escalating worldwide surge, the family decides to leave the city and relocate to somewhere safe. While driving through a deserted countryside road, a black portal appears out of nowhere, causing their car to crash into it. Following this, we are taken back to 3 hours after the blackout. At a call center in Washington, D.C., people keep on calling 911, reporting their panic over the portals. The call operators, Kathy, Stan, Dory, Robert, and Larry, are trying their best to calm the people down through the calls, but the emergency support services are already overloaded. Amidst this chaos, Dory requests her superior Kathy for permission to leave because she hasn't been able to contact her 7-year-old daughter since the blackout. However, Kathy denies her request, claiming that they need her there. As the operators continue addressing frantic callers, the power suddenly goes out. Moments later, a black portal appears in the middle of the call room, freaking everyone out. All of them try to escape, but they are unable to unlock the door. Stan, who is a mentally unstable conspiracy theorist, seems to be mesmerized and delighted to see the portal. He slowly approaches the portal and focuses on the sound that is emanating from it. Suddenly, Stan reveals that both he and Kathy had received calls about these black portals years ago. Upon inquiring, they found out that the numbers were untraceable. Despite this, he became so curious about this mystery and has been collecting information regarding the portals ever since. So, what have you learned, Stan? Nothing helpful. In the midst of this startling revelation, Stan slowly walks back and grabs a gun, which he then aims at his fellow workers. It appears that the portal is telepathically communicating with him, as he mentions that the voice wants everyone to enter it. No one agrees to comply, so Stan shoots Robert as their first warning. In a state of panic, Larry agrees to go first. He reluctantly walks up to the portal and touches it, causing him to be sucked in. Stan then asks Dory to go next. In order to convince her, he claims that her daughter is already on the other side of the portal, which is the reason why she isn't able to contact her. Kathy whispers to Dory not to go and secretly hands her some scissors to attack him. Dory then approaches the portal and abruptly stabs Stan, but unfortunately, in the process, she is shot and killed. Unable to convince anyone further, Stan himself decides to enter the portal, but it does not let him pass. Instead, the portal blames him for the chaos, which breaks him down. In a fit of rage, he pulls out his gun and shoots towards the portal. However, the bullet ricochets and kills him on the spot. In the aftermath, the rest of the call operators fall under the portal's mind control, prompting them to enter it one after another. By the time the SWAT team arrives for their rescue, everyone is gone. How about that response time? In the next scene, we see Adam, who wakes up in a hospital room with one eye bandaged. He gets off his bed and walks around, but all the doors and windows are locked. Not long after, a nurse named Leslie approaches him and asks him to go back to his bed. Adam asks about his family, to which she replies that they are fine. Leslie also tells him that he is the first person who has come back alive from the portal. This confuses Adam because she just mentioned that his family is fine. She somehow manages to get him back to bed and goes to call the doctor. Shortly after, Dr. Markkanen enters the wardroom and checks Adam's eyes. After a brief inspection, the doctor concludes that Adam's left eye has suffered irreparable damage due to the accident. As a result, they must perform surgery to remove Adam's left eye and replace it with a prosthetic lens. Afterwards, while performing the surgery, the doctors are shocked to witness Adam's once blue eyes transform into an abyssal, pitch black hue. The scene then cuts to Jakarta, Indonesia, precisely 3 minutes before the blackout event. We see two sisters, Sarah and Jill, walking towards their car in a shopping center's parking lot. During this, Jill gives her sister the good news that she is pregnant, but Sarah, who is still grappling with the profound grief of losing her own child, starts arguing with Jill, claiming that she doesn't want to be an aunt. Doesn't matter what you guys feeling. Here come the holes. In the middle of their argument, the power suddenly goes out, and Jill vanishes for a moment. A short while later, she reappears in a shocked state and asks Sarah to follow her. Within seconds, the other shoppers within the vicinity, who are under the control of an unseen force, show up in the parking lot as well. Jill leads them towards the portal and says that it is calling them. She also says that the portal is promising to give anything they want in their lives, especially if what they want is nothing. Just then, Sarah hears the crying voice of a baby. Frightened, she starts shouting at the people, trying to break the trance they're all in. She also pulls Jill away from the portal, causing her to fall and hit her head on the ground. This sudden injury snaps Jill out of her unconscious state. At the same time, they witness an entranced mother wheeling her baby toward the portal. It speaks its first words:
existential nothingness.
A few moments later, the woman realizes what she has done and tries to follow her baby through the portal. However, she is violently repelled back, resulting in her immediate demise. Following this, the rest of the people start entering the portal one by one. The two sisters, gripped by terror, attempt to flee the scene, but some people in the parking lot become increasingly aggressive and launch attacks against them. At one point, Sarah hides her injured sister behind a pillar and goes to retrieve her car. As soon as she gets in the car, an entranced woman breaks through the window and attacks her. But despite the odds, Sarah manages to summon the strength to fight back. She then rescues Jill and starts driving away. However, before they can exit the parking lot, Jill again becomes entranced and forces the car to drive towards the portal. Following this, the car is engulfed by a blinding flash of white light emanating from the portal's door. Suddenly, Sarah gets ejected through the windshield, should have buckled up, and finds herself in an empty parking lot. Confused and filled with fear, she frantically searches the parking lot, desperately calling out for her sister. Shortly after, she finds Jill, who is holding a baby. Jill passes the baby to Sarah and then inexplicably vanishes from the scene. Sarah is unable to understand what is going on, but she proceeds to calm the crying baby. The screen then pans out, revealing that she is now inside the portal. On the other hand, Adam is seen talking to Leslie, who inquires about his eyes and his overall well-being. Adam tells her that he feels uncomfortable with the lens, as it is new to him. Afterwards, when he is alone in his hospital room, curiosity prompts him to inspect his operated-on eye. He then unwraps the bandage and looks at his eyes in the mirror. To his shock, he discovers that his left eye has turned completely black. At that moment, a strange voice addresses him, saying that the doctors are lying about his family. Frustrated and anxious, Adam confronts Leslie, demanding an explanation on why he can't see his family, but she simply leaves without offering any clarity. Later, Dr. Markkinen comes to check Adam's eye. As soon as he flashes a flashlight on his eye, it starts shining like the portal door itself. Adam tries to maintain his composure, but when the doctor takes too long, he pushes him away. Sensing that something is amiss, Adam asks if he did this to his eye. Dr. Markkinen finally reveals that the new eye provides insight into realities beyond human comprehension. However, the doctor claims that Adam doesn't deserve such a gift and proceeds to cut out his eye. This leads to them engaging in a brawl, and the doctor soon gains the upper hand. He is about to mutilate Adam's eye when Leslie shoots Dr. Markkinen from behind. Leslie then discloses that Adam's, as well as her families, are still on the other side of the portal. According to her, Adam is the only one who managed to return alive from there. This is the reason why Dr. Markkinen was experimenting on Adam, to find out about the dark doors. She believes that Adam is the only person who can bring their families back, but the latter has no recollection of the past. After this, Leslie leads Adam to a portal door in another wing of the hospital and tells him that he must enter it to rescue their family. As Adam approaches the portal, it emits a high-pitched sound. Leslie, unable to endure the sound, suffers a violent fate as her head bursts. Nevertheless, Adam gathers enough courage and enters into the portal that teleports him to the middle of a deserted road. After walking for a while, Adam arrives at a building containing jail cells. As he proceeds deeper into the building, he notices his own dead body in one of the cells, which leaves him confused and disturbed. Before long, the sound of his daughter's voice calling out reaches his ears. He quickly follows the sound to another cell, only to find himself mysteriously transported into a house. Much to his shock, he finds Kate there, who is already grown up into a teen. However, she doesn't recognize him and runs away. Adam tries to follow her, but he is once again transported, this time into a room with a large mirror. Inside this room, he encounters a mirrored version of himself, which asks him to take a seat. The mirror image explains that this is the future, where Adam is no longer alive, and his daughter is living her life happily without him. Unable to comprehend the situation, the real Adam asks his other version to explain everything in detail. The reflection tells him that they see the world through Adam's eyes, while he lives on their side. Then, it offers Adam two choices: replace his other eye with a portal and reunite with his family, or give back the new eye and die. With no other choice, Adam accepts the first option. Following this decision, the mirror version asks Adam to close his eyes for a moment. Upon reopening them, Adam finds himself standing in front of his house. He peeks through the portal door hole and sees his wife and daughter waiting for him. But before letting him in, the mirrored version asks for his eye, in accordance with their agreement. In a startling twist, Adam instead rips out both of his eyes, sabotaging the deal, but also his eyes. The scene then shifts back to the real world, where Adam is seen in the hospital after the car accident. Leslie takes Andrea and Kate to the hospital room where he is admitted. Adam seems to have finally recovered, but he is completely blind now. Finally, after a prolonged separation, Adam is reunited with his family. The scene then cuts to 3 months after the blackout in the UK, where James and Anna are conducting the teleportation experiment using the portals. They have connected 2 portals to teleport from one place to another. Anna is in a park, while James is in the research lab. She enters the portal and successfully ends up in the lab. This makes them happy, believing that the first stage of their experiment worked out. Encouraged by this, they proceed to the second stage, in which James enters the portal, followed by Anna. He safely reaches the other side, but she arrives only after a while. Moreover, there's a black liquid streaming down from her eyes. Anna, who is now entranced, holds James's face and brutally melts it down. The movie ends with Anna announcing that the portals are just the beginning of the end. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.